Good evening! Good evening, everyone. We have a lot of notifications coming through because there are now gifted memberships. This is a thing. They're all coming up as renewals, but welcome to all our new members. And thank you very, very much indeed to Simon and Satira for gifting them. That was very nice of you and a lovely surprise because I did not know this was a thing. Louder? Louder? What's too loud, the alerts or me? Maybe me. Maybe me. Let me turn me down a little bit. Anyway, a very warm welcome to all of you who are here on time / early. Alex, Satira, Generic Pilot 1, Simon, Scott, Wojtek, Kurt, Danny, and I think that's everyone who said hello in the chat. But welcome to all of you, whether you have spoken or not. You're a tad loud, but we were enjoying it, so I shouted back. Right, okay. I think I've turned my gain down a little bit. I think that should be a little better. I watched my last Twitch stream back, and I was too quiet on that one, so yeah, I've adjusted it a little bit. Plain Video 001, hello and welcome. I did not know it was a thing either, just opened to check the milestone and found the gift membership. And we've had Wojtek renewing his Club Filbert Silver membership for the 4th month, and he says, Goda. Hence the, which is the registration, by coincidence, of this here HondaJet that I am flying for you this evening. So yes, so this plane was released yesterday. It's a business jet from a new developer, and I've taken it on a couple of flights beforehand. So this will be my 3rd flight? No, this will be my 4th flight in it. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a manual, it doesn't come with checklists. Well, it's got checklists embedded, so we can go through those, but there's no documentation with it. And not being an expert on the G3000 that it uses, I'm kind of feeling my way around a little bit, so I can't claim to be an expert on it, which is why we're not flying on VATSIM this evening. But my plan this evening is to show you what it's like, basically, and talk to you about some of the things I like about it, some of the things I don't like about it so much, and generally give you a flavour for what you can expect should you choose to buy it. It's only available to buy through the marketplace at the moment, and I paid £20 for it, which, you know, is not that expensive. But let's see if it's worth it or not. Hey Phil, but you're not far away from my hometown in Mostar, Bosnia in the sim. You should do a flight out of LOSA sometime. Cheers from St. Louis. Oh, really? Yes, yeah. I think you've mentioned this before. Yeah. And if we get scenery for Mostar, then I will absolutely fly from there. We've got no Bosnian airports at all, as far as I'm aware. But yes, at some point I will try and make it happen, boss. Lovely BizJet, single developer too. Don't worry, boss. It's fully auto like most Japanese things. Yes, I sort of know what I'm doing with it. It's still a little bit buggy. Some things don't always work as they should, but most things work most of the time in my experience so far. But anyway, it's a lovely model. It's quite a controversial looking plane. Some people have said that they think it's really beautiful. Others have said that they think it's really ugly. I'm not a huge fan of its looks, to be honest. It's very sleek. But yeah, it's a weird looking jet. But it is rather good fun to fly, and that's what's important. Trolls, apologies to be a little late, had some APHIS to deal with. No worries at all, boss, no worries at all. Now, this is interesting. You reckon this is Japanese design, Satira. But we were having this conversation in the Club Filbert voice chat earlier, and someone, I can't remember who, but someone reliably informed me that it has absolutely nothing to do with Honda, the Japanese company that makes the motorbikes and cars, and is in fact an American company called Honda Aviation or Honda Aircraft or something like that. I don't know the full story here, but I would like to, so if you have any insider info, I'd be pleased to hear it. MXI Design have LOSA, LQSA scenery. Not the highest quality, but it's decent and pretty accurate. Oh, really? Oh, then I shall check it out, boss. I shall check it out. Yes, MXI Design stuff tends to be sort of okay. Yes, the engines do look odd, particularly the big chunky things that support them. Yeah, it's quite an unusual bit of design there. Anyway, let us get in the plane. Let us have a little look around. So this is what it looks like. It is the simplest cockpit you'll ever see. You've got 5 screens, well 6 if you count the standby HSI jobby. You've got a few buttons, but very few. You've got a standard autopilot control panel here. And that's about it. There's no buttons on the overhead. It operates the lights for you automatically, which I've never come across before, so you don't have to worry about those. And as you see when we power it on, a lot of the setup is pretty straightforward and automated as well. Good evening, Mr. Ravki. Satira, isn't it linked to Honda? Well, Scott said it, but he's a noob, so we shouldn't take his word. I don't know. It could be a different person called Honda, I suppose. But yeah, I am under the impression that it's American designed rather than Japanese. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think the F1 team also... Oh, really? Okay. Definitely the Honda car mob. There is a YouTube story about the Jet. Oh, really? Oh, okay. There we are. There we are. I stand corrected. And thank you, Paul, and welcome to the stream. So, yeah, I'll just give you a quick tour. I mean, it's a tiny, tiny plane. There's not a lot to see. We have a fully animated working door. The interior modelling is absolutely stunning. It's really, really nicely done. I can't fault it at all. Really high resolution, crisp textures. Lovely views out of every window. Yeah, nice seats. There's just not a lot to it. You've got 6 seats. You've got some poor sod who has to sit, where is it? In this seat here. And I guess that's the guy that no one really likes, right? You're gonna put the 4 friends are gonna sit here, and then the guy who's just along for the ride is gonna have to sit there. What about the bird on top of the glare shield? I don't have a bird on top of the glare shield. I don't know why. I saw Fabio's stream, and I saw his bird on top of the glare shield, and I was quite excited to see it, but it's not there. It's not there. Anyway, to continue with our tour, it even has a toilet at the back, and you can walk in. Unfortunately, the toilet does not flush, and you can't click anything in here. But it's pretty cool, isn't it? It's a pretty cool little plane. We'll shut that, keep the smells out of the cabin. And we'll sit down and we'll start setting it up. Japanese management, so some innovation trickles down. Ah, okay. Click in the middle and it'll make the bird appear. Oh, I did see a click. Ah, there it is. Thank you. Awesome. Good. Yes, one bird. That's the mother-in-law seat. Yeah. Am I the only one who would enjoy a good Embraer 145 pay? Oh no, I'm desperate for one. Absolutely desperate for one. I would love all of the Embraers, all of them. I want to do London City Ops in something modern. I'm enjoying flying the BAE 146 out of there, but yes, it would be cool. It would be cool to have one. Right, so as I say, no manual. So I have watched little bits of Fabio's stream. I haven't watched the whole thing. I've had a play around, and I think I know just about enough to get the plane from A to B, and not much more. As I said earlier, this is why we're not flying on RATSIM. So the first thing we're going to do is turn on the battery, and we've got external power available, so we'll connect that so we can take all the time in the world to set up if we need to. The A220 is also very, very exciting. Yeah, I can't wait for that. So as you can see, we have these 3 giant screens powered up. And it all looks very, very swanky and modern. We'll press this button to open up the map screen. And yes, we have the cabin door open. We have external power connected. You can see that on the status section to the left here. TORS system test OK. So yes, we've got our general status page over here. You can flick through the various screens by going to Home, Aircraft Systems, and then you can choose your synoptic page there. So we can have a look at the environmental synoptic page here. We can see various figures here. So we've got cabin's a little bit warm, 26 degrees. I'm sure once we start the engines that will cool down a little. You can see the electrical synoptic page. So you can see that we have external power coming in, powering everything. We've got the batteries on. Everything's looking green, everything's looking good, except of course the engine generators, because we don't have the engines on yet. Martin, hello, welcome. But yes, I did buy myself a new plane, yes. Those donations must have been very humble. Yeah, 20 quid in the marketplace. I thought I'd take a punt. Yes, as Alex says, Mezzo, it is only available in the marketplace, and as Satira says as well. Thank you both for your help there. So yeah, that's basically how all this works. We can flick through to the fuel. We haven't, we've got quite a lot of fuel actually. I was about to say we don't have any, but we've got quite a lot. We'll get our fuel sorted out in a moment. But I'm just going to show you the bits and bobs that it has, which I think are worth looking at. That's our hydraulic synoptic page. And finally our ice protection synoptic page. We won't be needing any ice protection today because it is glorious here and in Santorini, which is where we are heading. It has got Navigraph integration, it has, which we will have a look at fact, why not do it right now? You go to the charts page. It's even found our local airport, even though I haven't put anything in. And it comes up straight away with the airport map. And you can click through and choose whichever chart you would like, which is really, really nice. This is some of the best Navigraph integration I've seen. If we go back home, press map, that returns us to this view here. So the first thing I would like to do is input a flight plan. So we go to the flight plan page, we choose our origin airport, which is split LDSP. I'm reliably informed that you can also do this from the world map screen, so it does integrate with the MSFS flight planner, which is nice. I haven't done that today because I sort of wanted to take you through how you input a flight plan to the best of my knowledge, but that is an option for those of you who want to get started a bit quicker. It is genuinely an iPad. You can split the screen as well. You can, yes, I've discovered this. We're now going to go to the procedures page and add in our departure. So we're expecting a runway 5 departure, even though that gives us a bit of a tailwind because that's what they're using at the moment. I say we're expecting, no one's going to tell us otherwise. We're going to do a runway 5 departure. Oop. So I think you have to choose the departure first, and we're doing the CPAL-1 Whiskey. CPAL-1 Whiskey, there we are, and that's all automatically shown as runway 5. Now if we want to have a look at what that departure looks like, we can press the preview button, and we can press show on map, and that will draw our SID for us. Or if we want to look at it in a different way, we can actually bring up the chart. So that kind of link here, oh, it doesn't do it. Okay, we can't bring up the chart, but I have been able to before. So that's our departure done. So we'll load that in, and we'll go back, and we'll go back again. And you can see that we now have our departure, our SID waypoints in. So basically, in fact, I'll show you the chart. Let's look at the chart on the plane. Why the hell not? So home, charts, departure, CPAL-1 Whiskey we're looking for. There we are, CPAL-1 Whiskey. And here you have it. So as you can see, we're going to climb on runway heading to 480 feet. Then we're going to make a right turn to SP800 and another right turn to SP001, and no we're not, I'm looking at totally the wrong departure. We're going to climb on runway, oh yes that's right, yeah, climb on runway heading, do a sort of a spiral, right to SP800, right to SP801, right to the split VOR, right again to SP805, and then down here to CPAL. So that's what it will look like. Looks a bit like the longitude, but system-wise, this is probably a bit better. Longitude's always a bit buggy. Yes, I think it is. This is also a bit buggy. Certain things don't always work as they should. But we'll see. We'll see how we go. Satira, there is a solution to that. If you click on a gate or on the ramp on the world map, then yes, it will change all of your SID and star and some waypoints and do a new route. If, however, you choose it from the drop-down menu at the top, it doesn't do that. So you can get away with it. Any chance of a Filbert channel livery for the PMDG 146 and Phoenix? Never say never, but I don't know how to do one. And yeah, Sonent, who did a lot of my previous liveries, isn't around anymore. I haven't seen him for a while. But I am pleased to say that we will be starting a virtual airline very soon, or not starting one. So Simon C, who some of you will be familiar with from the streams and from Discord, has designed a whole fleet of aircraft for an airline called Euregio, and we are trying to make this an official airline and make it part of Filbert Flies. So that's something to look forward to. I think that's as many right turns as we need for now. There may be more further on route. I'm sure there will at some point. It's £20. £20. That SID looks like the flight Borat took in the original movie. I don't remember that. But yeah, it is a pretty twisty, windy departure, must be said. Right, anyway, we digress. So after CPAL, we need to put in our en route waypoints. And there are two ways of, well, at least two ways of doing this. And if I can remember both of them, I will show you both of them. So after CPAL, we are doing an en route, a direct. So if we click on CPAL, no, don't click on CPAL. Click on en route and we'll do insert waypoint, and it brings up this screen. And on this screen, we can basically just type our route in. So Tiksa is our next waypoint, and we're going direct to there. There's no airway. And you can see it's identified that it's in Croatia, so you can sort of sense check it. Now we can just press star and enter the next one, which is going to be Nera. These are all directs, actually. We've got some airways coming up. Nera. And then we are going direct to Petak, P-E-T-A-K. It's in Serbia, Montenegro. And Serbia/Montenegro. Then we're going direct to Pindo. So this is a very, very quick way of typing your route in. Duplicates found. Now, what do we do about that, I wonder? Press enter. And obviously we want the one in Albania, not the one in Honduras. Which brings us nicely back to our flight plan screen. Now, after Pindo, we are going to use an airway. So to do that, we can either go back to the screen where we were and just type the airway number, or we can go to load airway. And this is kind of like a modern version of what you get on the, what's it called? What's the name of the FMS that you get in the Dash 8s? I can't remember. Is it the UNS one? I think it's the UNS one. Yeah, it just came out yesterday and it's £20. This is the working title G3000, well, with customizations. Yes, exactly. Euregia, yes, indeed. Those engines are the most interesting thing about it. Yeah, I also asked the same question, right? Okay, so everyone knows on the marketplace about £20. No UNS one, thank you, yes. I noticed no altitude restrictions added, but Provision towed them. Provision towed them. So you can add altitude constraints, and I'll show you that certainly for the arrival. I don't think we need to use any... Well, actually, we probably do for the departure. We'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Anyway, airway selection. So you saw what I did there. I clicked on the previous waypoint, then went to add airway or something like that. And here we choose the airway. So we're at Pindo, and from there we know that we want the UL607. So we click on that, and then we choose our exit waypoint, which is going to be Netis. Do you see what I mean? It is very much like the UNS one, just a lot less fiddly. So you can do it that way if you like, or you can just keep using that screen we were on before. And it's showing us all of the waypoints that we're going to go past on that airway, which is nice. If we go to add en route waypoint, I'll show you the other way of entering an airway, which is exactly the same as if you're entering a waypoint itself. So UM601, and then Peksan. Ah, it says working, it's frozen. Oh, there we are. Okay, it just took a little while. So you can see it's already completed it. It's auto-completed it for us. So I think if we press enter there, then it should have done it, and it has. It's just asking us to confirm. So we'll load that. So from Netis, we're taking UM601 to Peksan, and that is correct. Hello, Tazzy. Welcome, welcome. How are you? VNAV can be added. What is this scenery? This scenery is in the video description. All the add-ons are. This is the Orbex Split Airport. Did somebody say, by the way, that you can split the screen? Somebody did, Martin. Somebody did. So that done, we are going to go back to procedures, and we're going to set up our arrival. So we want to do the Peksan 1 Alpha. Obviously, we have to add our airport first, which is LGSR Santorini. And let me just double check what they're using. I think we do want runway 33, but I'm going to have a quick look on Flight Radar 24 because I planned this flight a while back. LGSR. I apologise if there's a little bit of background noise. I'm doing a load of washing at the moment, which I think the audio filters should drown out, but if you can hear it, my apologies. So we had a 9:29 arrival from Bristol, a TUI without a flight number. Interesting. But which runway did he land on? Yes, runway 33. So we just choose our arrival, and we want to do the, I just said it and I've forgotten already, Peksan 1 Alpha. And there it is. Load. And we can also set up our approach here. So we want to do the VOR Alpha approach, which is a circling approach from overhead the airport. And again, if we click on preview, we should be able to see a chart of that, or see it on the map. There we are. It has done that beautifully. VOR Alpha approach. Interestingly, this is different to the one that I've got in the Navigraph app. That's really unusual. Perhaps I didn't want that. Yeah, that's so weird. Santorini, Greece, VOR Alpha. This is chart 13.2. This is chart 13.2. I'm going to have to show you this because this makes no sense to me at all. But I have got two separate charts with the same number. Is it a different date? 25th of June 21? No, same date. Right, hang on. Let me just share my full screen with you so that you can see what I'm seeing, because it's... I don't get it. I've never seen this before, and it's interesting. Display capture. There we are. Look at that. So this is the one in the Navigraph app, which just shows the single circle, and this is the one in the aircraft. Both charts 13.2 for Santorini, Greece, VOR Alpha. Both with the same date, 25th of June 21. But this one shows two different routes depending on your category of aircraft. What's that about, honestly? Very, very odd. Anyway, there it is. It's okay, not that much noise from background. Good, okay. You should check out Pilot's Life Chapter 2. Yeah, I kind of like flying what I like where I like, so I've never been that interested in those sort of add-ons, but maybe. I generally fly an F-35B with no autopilot, no flight plan, VFR just for the challenge. There's nothing wrong with that, boss. If you don't enter altitude restrictions, it descends immediately when you press vertical nav. Yes, the VNav on it is a little bit dodgy. Alone Gamer, hello, welcome. I'm alright, thank you. How are you? I tried the Dark Star today. That was extremely stressful and ultimately a huge fail. Yes. That I've had one experience in the Dark Star which went very much the same. Yeah, that's the latest version, same date on the chart. Don't know. New update or maybe a special chart for smaller aircraft. Maybe. Maybe, but if that's the case, you would not expect it to have the same number, right? You wouldn't expect it to be 13-2, maybe 13-2A or... Anyway. Doesn't matter. It's just quite interesting. You'd think for $40 the charts would be current. It is current. It's the latest version. Yeah. Yeah. But that relies on you having an up-to-date Navigraph subscription. You don't get charts with the aircraft, just like any other aircraft. You need to have, you need to pay for a Navigraph subscription. Anyway, that route is now looking pretty... Oh no, I haven't loaded the approach. So just press load there, VORA via SNI, which is what we want. Load. And we can have a little preview of it on the map as well to make sure it looks okay. Now, it doesn't look okay, and this is what I experienced when I did my little practice flight from Athens earlier. It doesn't show us the circle to land, it just shows us the final approach fix. But as we're flying it, hopefully, certainly what happened last time, is it will change it and it will give us a nice circle to land type jobby as we saw on the chart itself. So there we are. Go back again. Now this happens sometimes, active flight plan is desynchronized. Please delete the active plan to resolve. It's an error I've had many times. It's a bit of a bug as far as I can tell, but again, without a manual, who's to say? I certainly don't know how to fix it. We've got a double PEXAN, that could be an issue. Don't know. But it doesn't seem to matter, as I say. Does not seem to matter too much. Certainly our departure's all fine. We'll have another look at that en route perhaps and see what we can do with it. Right, so there we are, back to the map page, and we can actually zoom in on our present location. Is it that one? No. Is it that one? Yes. To have a look at our departure, and that's exactly how it looked on the chat, which is on the chart, which is very good news. So the next thing I'm going to do is go back to the home page on this next one, on this right-hand page. We'll go back to the home page here. And we want to sort out our weight and balance and that sort of thing. So we start off in the load manager, and this is a very easy graphical way of setting up your payload and your fuel. So we want 1135 kilograms of fuel today. So you can add in, I think that's 500s or 100s. You can't get it exact, but there we are. 1132 should do us. Let's take a little bit extra to be on the safe side. 1180. And our payload is 540 kilograms. Well, that'll do me, I think. So we've got, let's get rid of this poor sod. Let's get rid of the mother-in-law. 480 kilograms, which makes our zero fuel weight 3730 kilograms, which is slightly under what we planned. So I'm happy enough with that. Oh, lol, sir. Interesting. That is very interesting. That does ring a bell now you've said it. Thank you. And that would explain the different chart. Yes. Yes. Well deduced. Yes, it is a custom Garmin setup. Yeah, but based on the working title G3000. The longitude has that desynchronized bug as well. It can be annoying when using VNav. Yes. The AIP is locked behind a registration form, unfortunately. Who's AIP? Oh, the AIP for Greece. Right, okay. Thank you. Double Pexon is correct, showing it twice as last waypoint and first waypoint of the arrival. Ah, okay, jolly good. That's all right then. Yeah, could be Wojtek. Could be. That could be the desync thing. You can pull the details from the sim if you set up at the beginning. Yes, you can. You can. But in fact, if you then go to initialization, and when we do the weight and fuel, you will see that you can pull them from the sim this way as well. So we have to do our pre-flight system tests, which are all automatic. So it does a fire detection test. You can see we've got left engine fire showing, right engine fire showing. It's so automated, it's like nothing else I've ever flown. There is the stall protection stick shaker test going on. I hope live flight sim streams take right off because I love them. Oh, I'm glad. I mean, there's loads out there. There's loads of people streaming these days. I hope they continue. But yes, that reminds me. For those of you who know me only on YouTube because of my streams and videos, do come and follow me over on Twitch as well. I'm actually doing more streaming over on Twitch than I do on YouTube these days. So yeah, it'd be great to have your follows over there as well. Right, so that is our pre-flight tests done. So now we go to weight and fuel, and this is where we put in more specific figures. You can just use this instead of using the pre-flight graphical screen we looked at before, but I really like doing that. So all we do is click Get from Sim, and it'll load your crew and stores. We go to the next page, Payload, Get from Sim. It's only showing 3 passengers, don't know why that is. But anyway, zero fuel weight is about the same. Zero fuel weight is... oh, it's in pounds, 8216 pounds. Let me just convert that a second. 3747 kilograms, which is, yeah, exactly what we had on the previous page. So, although we have got 4 passengers on the previous page and only 3 here, the net result is the same. So that's the main thing. We'll go to the fuel page, and again, Get from Sim. And we'll go to the takeoff page and check all of that. Click Get from Sim. That should be fine. You can change your taxi fuel if you want. It's a very short taxi out. We'll probably use slightly more than £100, but who's counting? So then we go to the next page, and this is where we calculate our V-speeds, which has not worked. So this didn't work on the first flight. It didn't work on the second flight. It did work on the third flight, and I was hoping it was going to work this evening as well, but it hasn't. It's a bug. I don't know why it doesn't work. We need them, really. So what can we do about that? Should we do reset initialization? No. See, originally I thought maybe it was the runway we were using, but Split's runway is not particularly short, so, you know. Also, Join Club Phil, but the best not a colour on the internet. Thank you, Nick. Yes. If you'd like to become a member, then click the join button below the video. You get various perks in return for your very, very reasonable monthly fee. Most streamers host an extra Discord voice channel so that people can chat along. I have channels in my Discord, but I tend to stream alone except when we're doing group flights, and that tends to be for Yeah, Club Filbert members. But yeah, feel free to go and chat in the Discord server if you'd like to. Yes, which is where they are. That tends not to work. I don't know why, because it did work last time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this passenger because I think it might sometimes be a weight thing. I've got to be honest, it is a very, very buggy plane. There are lots of things wrong with it, as you will see over the course of this flight. They announced within 2 hours of its release that they were going to release a hotfix. It's got no documentation, and between those things, it does suggest to me that perhaps it would have been better if they had waited and fixed the things that they intend to fix with the hotfix, release some documentation, rather than just hurrying it out when it's clearly not quite ready. But there we are. We are where we are. Okay, let's enter them manually, and I have no reason to dispute Satira's V-speeds. They sound similar to what I had before. So 115, 120, and 130. Thank you, Satira, for those. Good, so that's our speeds done, and then if we press all on, then they will be put automatically into our speed tape over on the left of the PFD there. Good, we're getting there. We're getting there. Yes, well, it's 50% of the time they worked for me. From the FAQ will be fixed in a future patch. Yes, indeed. But I did pull all the values from the sim. That's the thing. So it's not as simple as that. Best Terrac meta shorts. I'm afraid I don't understand. It's not that I don't love languages. I do, but we have to speak English in here so everyone understands each other, I'm afraid. I actually am waiting for the wife to come down here and freak the F out about something I did wrong. What have you done? Don't have time for a flight. It will happen much sooner than that. Right, okay. What did you do? It has its issues, but enjoyable nonetheless. Yes. Enjoyable, yes. Frustrating, yes. I would say both of these things are true. Right, next thing I'm going to do is go to the PFD settings and make sure we are in hectopascals rather than inches of mercury. There we are, 1013. I'm going to press the B key to set the local pressure from the sim, which is 1014. I'm going to change our source select, can't remember what it's, active nav rather, to FMS, which will give us our lateral navigation. And I'm going to set our initial cruise altitude, or not our initial cruise, our cruise altitude of flight level 390. I'm not going to worry about that single departure constraint because we'll be flying it manually at that point. Let's not select a speed, that's stupid. Let's select an altitude. Yes, £20, yes. Right, yeah, £20. I think someone said €25, Riley. Christ, Wojtek, don't imply he's English, my God. The little brother of the Aerosoft CRJ. Yes, yes, that's a good way of describing it, yeah. But I have slightly more faith that the bugs in this will be fixed fairly soon than I do with the CRJ, put it that way. I shaved a bald spot on the front of my dog's face. I think I got some whiskers he moved. Bless him, bless him. Yes, a lot of the soft keys don't work. This is true, this is true. And I tell you what I'm going to set in the speed. I'm going to set V2 plus 10. So V2 was 130, so let's set 140 for our initial climb. Again, I don't know how to operate this aircraft properly because of the lack of documentation. So I'm going to operate it a little bit like a cross between the CRJ and the CJ4 and hope for the best. There we are, it's 140 set. We did talk about constraints earlier and we haven't put any in yet. So if we go back to the flight plan, I'll show you how we can do that. So that first user waypoint should be, let me just get my chart up, 480 feet. We'll put that in. It's not going to make much difference to anything. Yeah, I think I just said I wasn't going to do this. I've changed my mind. And we want to be doing a maximum of 185 knots in that turn. You can't do at or above or at or below restrictions. So what I'm going to say is, so we should be at, yeah, non-RNAV. Let's just go 4,000 feet, and we'll put that in more as a reminder to ourselves. We want to be at or above 4,000 at this waypoint here. And at the SP801, we want to be at or below 7,500. So I'm going to put 7,500 in there. And as I say, because we won't be using VNAV on departure, we'll only be using it on descent. These are basically more reminders than anything else. Interestingly, it does say 7,500 or above there. Maybe it assumes they're at or above on the way out, because that's not what we want. Yes, exactly, Simon. I don't know if I sent it here already, but definitely sent it to the Aerosoft customer support mail. Didn't get any reply though. What was this? Discord doesn't want to show me. Oh, that video!
So yeah, we're kind of stuck on the CRJ, which is also called the crappy regional jet, of course. But my mission remains to prove to Matthias Koch that actually the LNAV of the CRJ is not as wobbly as the MSFS version, so hopefully we'll get out of here very soon.
Proper market research, boss. I'm impressed. Did you actually send it to Aerosoft? I hope you did. That's brilliant. Yeah, but my understanding is it's very unusual to use VNAV on a climb in a BizJet, so I'm going to hand fly it certainly up to that 480, and as you can see, the restriction we've got is 7,500 feet or above, as denoted by this line, and actually I want it to be 7,500 feet or below. And there's no minus, there's no way of entering that, so I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. Again, no documentation. It's pure guesswork. But yes, so that is those are our climb figures dealt with. Not quite, actually. The split VOR we haven't done. We want to be between flight level 110 and 5,000 feet. Yeah, God knows what I should put in there. I'm going to go for somewhere in between, and I'm going to call it flight level 100, I think. So 10,000 feet. Enter, and that'll do us. That will do us. Interestingly, the next constraint, you have to be at or above 8,000 feet. Yeah, I'm not going to go through into all of these, but that gives you an idea of how you would if you wanted to, which I don't. So these panels are from the working title G3000, but they've been modified quite heavily. You did, brilliant. How do you recommend this plane versus things like the TBM mod or the Kodiak? It's not a patch on the Kodiak. I haven't ever used the TBM mod. But yeah, it's definitely not as complete or smooth to use as the Kodiak is. Right, now what we're going to do is take a little look at the checklist. So you can use this button on your yoke. Oh, nothing's showing up. Okay, that's not working. In fact, we've got nothing here at all. Let's try and make that work. So if we go to Aircraft Systems, can we bring up the status page, for example? Yes. Can we now press this for the checklist? Yes. Okay, I don't know why some of it's already completed, or why we are not on the first page. That's very odd. Checklist. So you can choose them from here. We are on the first page. Okay, it's just some of it is strangely completed. Okay, so battery on. Oxygen, we can't actually test it, but I know we have oxygen because I looked at the synaptic page earlier. Pressurization is normal. Electrical, on and normal. We had a little look at that earlier. ELT, that's down here, and that is switched to normal. As is nose wheel steering. So we'll just scroll down. Landing gear is down. We can check the lever there, and we've got 3 greens on the screen. Alternate gear release handle, that is down here, and it is stowed. The parking brake is set. The flaps are up. The thrust levers are in cutoff. Speed brake is retracted. Ice protection should be on normal. Where's that's down here, isn't it? Ice protection, yes, both switches on normal. Fuel panel should also be normal. Fuel panel is somewhere down here, no? Yes. Crossfeed normal, left pump and right pump normal. So there really is very, very little to do in this aircraft, which is cool, really. Trim panel, checked, set, and normal. Normal, normal, normal. And that's in the centre there. Windshield heat panel. That should all be in normal as well. And it is left and right, both normal. The pneumatic panel is also normal, I can tell you that. And the glare shield panel, this one here, is dark. We haven't set anything up on there. Chime should be normal and dark. Dark, rather. Yes, it is. And avionics initialization is complete. Which means we can move on to starting our engines. I'm flying to Manchester next weekend with Lufthansa via Frankfurt. I haven't flown commercially since 2019. Oh, that'll be so exciting. Yes, I did my first flight. When was it? Last month? Month before? March, I think. To France, and it was great to be back in the air. It really was. Passenger briefing, yeah. Just sit down and shut up. That's the passenger briefing. Rudder pedals have been adjusted. Seats and seatbelts, these are ours, and they're adjusted and secure. Right, let's get the door closed. Let me give you an outside view while we do that, if I can make it work. Sim options, sim actions. I'll press that. There we are. You can have a lovely animation of the door closing. We'll leave the ground power in until we have started the engines, because why not? Parking brake is set. CAS messages, well, we've got the pressure warnings for the fuel and the oil, which we'd expect. And we know that all of these are as they should be. So we've checked the CAS messages. All good. Electrical volts, we want 23.5 volts as a minimum. So we can go back to the home screen here, aircraft systems, electrical, and that's all looking grand. Back to the checklists. And we can start the engines. Now, before I do that, I'm just going to make sure that I've told the passengers to be seated. So interior lights, fasten seatbelts on, no smoking on. And starting the engines is an absolute piece of cake. You press the right start button, you watch the N2 rise there. I'm sure there's a figure above which you need to be before you do this, but then you move that throttle into the idle position. And the engine sounds pretty damn good, I would say. Hello, Avia Edge, welcome. How are you? Perhaps a little bit quiet, but yeah, a nice noise nonetheless. So you can see that we've got the ITT still rising, N2 stable, N1 stable, and the ITT is now stable. So let's start the other engine. So we're just monitoring the engine instruments. And of course we can also hear from inside the cabin. And you can actually move the cockpit camera outside of this aircraft if you want to, if I don't mess up the controls too much. Which is quite nice to be able to get external views using the same camera setup. There we go. Right, so we can tick that off. Engine instruments, they look fine. Engine anti-ice we don't need. External power we can disconnect now. In fact, it's happened automatically. It does happen automatically when you start the engines. And you'll notice that the nav lights have come on automatically, which is cool. Beacon light has probably, I hope, also come on. The automatic lights don't always seem to work, but if you leave them in the normal position, they should. Those winglets are a bit strange. The whole plane is, yeah, it is. It's really odd. Boss, I have a busy day tomorrow, 6 till 8. Need to sleep early. Have a great stream and smooth landings. No worries, Satira. Thank you again for the gifted membership. That was very exciting to receive. And yes, good luck with your hectic day and sleep well, boss. Hello, Cyber 60 FPS. Welcome. I want this game so bad. It's good sim. I can't bring myself to call it a game. I'm sorry. But yes, it is good. So we'll have a quick check of the flight controls. Yes, they're free and they're correct. Next thing I'm going to do, because I always forget it, is just set our pitch trim. So you can see that here, and you can see there's a green band. You want to have the pitch trim within the green band, as you would expect. And when you do, it will go green, like that. So we can go to the next checklist, which is the before taxi checklist. Wing anti-ice, don't need it. Transponder code, well, I'll show you how you would do that. We're not on VATSIM, so it doesn't matter. But you would just click this, and let's set 2000 because we are IFR. And up here we can turn the transponder to whatever settings we want. So let's set it to altitude reporting for now. Flight ID and flight plan, confirmed, entered. Nav source we've already set to FMS. Altimeters we have set. Flaps we'll set for takeoff. So there's only 3 flap positions. Only one of them is for takeoff, and that's the middle one. And there you have the flaps coming down nicely. Speed brake we will check. Smallest speed brake lever I have ever seen. And you can see, oh, it is. It's one of the, it's a bit like the. I hadn't spotted it before, but it's exactly like the old BA 146s, which is cool. Look at that. It's a flappy tail one. Pity Melon isn't here to see this. So we've checked the flaps, set the flaps, checked the speed brake, cabin signs we've done, and we'll release the parking brake, and we'll taxi to the runway. And while we do that, we may as well get our chart up on here. So home, oh, it's this one, isn't it? No, it's this one. Charts. So we'll go for our info, noise abatement, blah blah blah, airport info. That will be the one. And we're taking off from which runway? 05. So pretty straightforward taxi, out and down to the left. And we'll do a backtrack because there's no one around and I want everything to go smoothly. Let's roll. Yeah, Paul would love this, I know. Is there a way to win you land? Sorry, I don't understand the question. Can monitor the lights on the left PFD? You can, yes. No, the landing lights are a little bit odd. They don't come on when you'd expect them to. Oh, if it were a game, there would be a way to win. I see. I mean, say that to the devs. MSFS can use this both. It can be a game with flying stratospheric plane. It can be a sim flying with. Yes, it can. Yeah, I know. But it's literally called Game of the Year by Microsoft. You know. They made that Reno Air Race thing. That's true. That's there. You can win. You're right. You can win the Reno Air Races. The other day I turned unlimited fuel on and did Heathrow to Sydney with the Dark Star. Flight time was under 2 hours. That is ridiculous. That does sound like quite a lot of fun. It does need quite a bit of power to get it going, I've found. But once it's going, it taxis kind of nicely. And talking of Paul Mellon, Lord Paul, he noticed earlier that the ground, there aren't really any ground roll sounds. There's no rumbles or anything like that. Certainly that I can hear. Which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, the engine noises are pretty good. Pretty good. And if we go back to our system page, or whatever the hell it's called, the main page thing, as you correctly said, I think it was Phil who said this, you can see your light status on here. So what do we have at the moment? We don't have our taxi light on, we've got nothing on. We've got beacon and nav on. And I would have expected it to turn our taxi lights on as we moved, which it may have done, but we have of course stopped now. No, so the automatic lights do need a bit of work. But anyway, we'll just leave them all in normal and auto and see how we get on with them. There we are, taxi lights on now, so you need a little bit of speed. It's quite a cool thing. It's quite a cool thing. But yeah, I would have assumed that the landing lights ought to come on below 10,000 feet, right? And they don't. I always find the test for a plane is, can you trust it on VATSIM? Not sure I could with this just yet. I think I tried to fly it on VATSIM earlier from Athens to Santorini to have a little practice, and I was quite happy to do it, but Athena Radar was just too busy and I gave up trying to get any kind of taxi clearance. So I think if I wasn't streaming this flight, if I was just flying it by myself now, then yes, I probably would fly on VATSIM, to be honest. But because it's still quite new to me and I don't fully know what I'm doing and it's a bit buggy and I want to talk to you lot, I've decided for now to fly it offline just for this stream. But yes, I think a couple more flights and I probably will be happy to stream it on VATSIM. Oh, Simon, that is a beautiful shot. Where's that, boss? It is too pretty. You can long press the checklist button on the yoke to bring the systems page back up. Oh, can you? Thank you. No, Pilius, I will try that next time. Talking of which, let's, while we backtrack, move on to our taxi checklist. Brakes. Yes, I just squeezed them, they're fine. Nose wheel steering's fine. Flight instruments are reading as we'd expect. Flaps have been set for takeoff. Trims have been set for takeoff. Speed brake is retracted. CAS messages, we've got... What have we got down there? Cabin power off. Ooh, that's a bit naughty. We should turn that on. There we are. Cabin power is on. Flight guidance has been set, I think. Takeoff and landing data has been confirmed. Takeoff briefing, I've told them all to sit down. And I've got no one to brief. But I've shown you the charts, and that's the main thing. Radar we don't need. Well, we don't have a weather radar, so forget it. We don't need any ice protection. And that's it. So I'm going to go back to our map page now. And I'm going to zoom it in even more if I can so that I can follow our departure route accurately. And you know, it's not going to go beautifully. Where's Will when you need somebody to cruelly mock the use of external lights? He's out for bloody dinner, boss, would you believe? He's out for dinner. And I found out that my website, the calendar on my website only goes up to May. Can't see June. And yet he's out having fun. Unbelievable. Yeah, the seagull is cool. You can turn it on or off. I quite like it. You had issues with the autopilot and it not doing what it's told. Yeah, I too have. The VNav is dreadful. Certainly on... Well, I've only ever used it on the descent. It's not good. You can, you know, I think you can bodge it. Well, you certainly can bodge it just by doing your own vertical speeds and that. But it's certainly not the complete and reliable plane that I would like it to be for a VATSIM flight, put it that way. Oh, is he here? Welcome back, boss. Have you eaten already? I probably wouldn't have complained if I'd known you were here, boss. Brussels decided to shut down the old RJ down. 500 minutes of MSFS running and the performance has suffered a bit. Blimey, that is a lot, boss. It's great in VR, I bet it is. That seems a hard pass for me. I don't like having to deal with amateur ATF and traffic. I don't like waiting in line to take off. They'd throw me out in about 2 minutes. Turn on your split screen to share the chart. Alright. That's a good idea. Remind me how, please? That I agree, that's a fair statement, Oski boy. Had a great night. Nice to see everyone before the summer. Who was this? Was this your Italian classmates you're out with, boss? Yeah, the thing about flying on VATSIM is that you want to be able to rely on your plane to do exactly what you expect it to all the time. And this at the moment doesn't. And I think with a bit of practice, even though it doesn't, you can be prepared for when things go wrong. But it's certainly a plane that you'll want to have a practice with before taking on VATSIM. A good few flights, I would say. I don't remember how to split the screen. Bottom of left small screen. Oh, half. There it is. Thank you. Okay. Nice. And how do we choose which bit we're dealing with? Do we use one of these knobs? Because I would like to put my chart on the right, or... Well, I don't actually care. I'd like to put my chart somewhere. Well, let's just do it on this one, because that's selected. Charts, departure. Let me just remind myself. It's the 103M. Oh, it doesn't have the numbers. Kemem, Orca, Sipel, and Velit, 1 whiskey. Myself, another guy, and 12 girls. All right. What did you have to eat? I mean, it has just not flown departures properly at all. That's something I'm very worried about it doing on VATSIM. It's just sort of cut corners and not flown to the right waypoints. So that's my main thing. SEPA 1 Whiskey. Why can't I see the chart? Hang on, I will concentrate. I will concentrate. There we are. It'll be this chart. It's a bit small, isn't it? Can't I zoom in on the chart? I'm sure I could. I'm sure I could before. Anyway, that'll do. That'll do. I think there's a reason why all the streamers haven't had it prior to release. Perhaps. Boss, what do you think? Italian class greater than Italian? Oh, Italian. You went for an Italian meal. Nice. Very nice. Funny plane threw my whole flight plan out the window when I got a direct from München, but it happily accepted the direct, typed into the FMS, and I could re-enter the flight plan. This is it. These are the sort of workarounds you need with buggy planes. Couldn't help but burst out laughing when I got your message. Good, I'm glad you had that effect. It's £20, Krusty Actual. £20. 25 euros. I don't know about other currencies. Right, anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to climb to 480 feet and then turn to Sierra Papa 800. Let's do it. I don't think there's anything else for it but to do it, unless anyone can quickly tell me how I can zoom in on this chart and center it on my plane. Chart options, perhaps? Fit width? I don't want to fit width. Threshold? Don't know what that does. Doesn't seem to do anything. I want to make it big. Range? Push pan. No. Now we're talking. Yes, there we go. That's very good. I like that. It's good. Right, okie dokie. Boss Toga, sorry boss. Sorry boss. Hello Ernest, I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Let's go. So, we've got our flaps, full plower. Oh, there's a problem. What's the problem? Wait. I don't know what the problem is, we're just gonna go. Takeoff config, it's fine. It's fine. Oosh. Alright, here we go. Down the center line. There's nothing wrong with my takeoff config. It's lying. See, this is the other sort of thing. We want rotate. That ideally I wouldn't want to happen when flying on VATSIM. I set my flaps, I set my trim. I didn't press the Toga button. Right, so we're climbing nicely. We're going to go into MCT mode. And we've passed that altitude, so we'll make our right-hand turn. And we want to keep our speed below 185 knots, so we're going to stay in MCT. And what we're going to do is just hand fly it until such time as we have got around these wiggly bits, and until such time as we have reached a nice climb speed, and then we'll probably go into IAS mode and turn on the autopilot so I can show you outside. We can retract our flaps above 130 knots, and I'm going to trim. It does need quite a lot of trim. Under 1 hour, you see, can't complain. You can see that the course it's showing us on here is not quite the same as what the chart suggests we should be doing. Okay, and now what we're going to do is continue our climb. We're going to increase that speed to 240 knots, which seems like quite a good climb speed. I hate hand flying and having to scroll a mouse. I hate it. Can't be helped though. And we're going to go into nav mode and flight level change mode. And we're going to engage the autopilot. That didn't take, did it? Oh, yes, it has FMS. Your damper's engaged. Autopilot's engaged. We're going to go back to MCT. And we're going to let the plane fly itself and climb us away from here in split. Which is beautiful, by the way. It's very quiet, isn't it? Yeah, it's very quiet. Martin, I've got no comeback. I've got no comeback to that at all. Finally able to start my career with Bristow. Do Bristow fly these? I always associate Bristows with helicopters. Right, so we can do our after takeoff checklist now. So landing gear is up. Your damper is engaged. Engages when you engage the autopilot. Flaps are up. Thrust levers are in MCT. Flight guidance is fine. Ice protection. Cabin signs. We're going to leave the seatbelt sign on for now till we get to above 10,000 feet. Climb checklist. Pressurization is probably fine. The transition altitude here is 10,000, so we'll set standard pressure once we climb above that. And to be honest, that went pretty well. Someone said, sorry, it was Paul said, can you still zoom the map? I don't know how. I feel like there must be a way of selecting that second display. Sorry, the second half of the display, I should say. And then being able to zoom it, but... Would it be this one? No, that does the checklist over there. I don't know, because there's no manual. I want a manual. Passengers are hanging on for dear. Passengers are fine, boss. Make your alerts work. Oh, boss, what did you do? What have I missed? I'm ever so sorry. Resub alerts do not work, or re-membership alerts. Membership alerts don't work. But Will, welcome to it says welcome to Club Filbert Gold, but you were already gold, weren't you? Is this not a renewal? And Trolls as well. Club Filbert Bronze, 7 months. I have someone who is flying the HondaJet at Copenhagen. How are they doing? Or how's the jet doing, more to the point? Will, thank you very much for your resub, and Trolls, thank you for yours as well. Very, very kind of both of you. I do not know how to make Stream Elements membership renewal alerts work. I just don't know. I've spent so long trying, and it only seems to care about new members, and I don't know why that is. I'm ever so sorry. The max range on this thing, I don't know, to be honest. Someone did work it out, and I think it was somewhere in the region of 1,600 miles, maybe, something like that. It was, but it got cancelled for the lack of content. Boss, it's not. You can't equate membership with content, right? Membership is about both giving love and buying love, right? Nothing to do with how much content I do, I'm afraid. Let's turn off the... Oh, no, now we've got this split screen. That's on one. There we are. That's the view I want. Right, 10,000 feet and then some. We'll set standard pressure, 1013. I think it does it both sides. I think they're linked. Yes. And we can turn off the seatbelt sign somewhere. Sim options? No. I know this. Don't tell me I know this. System controls, the interior lights. There we are. And let's let them smoke as well. They're very important people in this jet, you know? And someone mentioned if you long press this button, you get back to the system page. And they were right. I think that was also Paul. So thank you for that. So landing lights are off, taxi lights are off, recognition lights are on, strobe, beacon and nav are on. So that's what we'd expect, which is good. And I can't believe we're still flying this damn departure. It's the longest departure I've ever known. Let's go a little faster. Let's climb at 250 knots. And we're going all the way up to flight level 390. Aye, you need to manually set pressure on standby. Yes, but you can't set it in hectopascals, which is sad. That button doesn't work. I don't know what that button does. Nav? Nothing. Yeah. I mean, that's the sort of thing. I mean, that's a bare minimum, isn't it? Being able to use the right units. I don't know. I kind of want to love this plane, and I just I just find it... There are too many little frustrating things for me to love it. It is a lot of fun, though. It is a lot of fun now I've got over the worst of it. Can you ask me a question? If it was anyone else, Martin, I would say yes unreservedly. But as it's you, I'm going to say it depends what it is, boss. Yeah, go on. And while you ask it, I'm going to put some tunes on. We're going to have a little bit of Trevor Kowalski because it's YouTube and we need a bit of class over here. I'll give you a little bit of a wing view as we climb away. The V-speeds didn't work, Will, by the way. Again. Can the plane fly in ILS? Yes, it can. Although, unfortunately, I won't be able to show you that today because we are doing a VOR approach into Santorini. But yes, I've done several ILS approaches, and to be fair, it flew them pretty well. You're hearing a lot of chatter lately about a split approach from last week. Since we just came out of split, would you be so kind as to tell us all? Yeah, sure. We flew to Split last week. One of the many perks of Club Filbert membership is that you get to fly with me when I'm not streaming, which is really the stuff dreams are made of. And yeah, we flew to Split, and it all went smashingly. It was very, very good. A lot of fun. And that's all I have to say. A plane like that calls for Mozart, none of this peasant trap. Yes. And I'm going to check Volanta to see where Wojtek is, because he made me promise I would check it frequently, seeing as he's flying an X-plane. And we're not on Volanta. Not on that sim, rather. Got a bit loud all of a sudden. Where is Wojtek? I'll even show the rest of you. Oh, he's way ahead. He's almost there. He's almost there. Still, it's pretty standard, regardless of whether we're on VATSIM or not, isn't it, really? And what went wrong exactly? Nothing that I recall, Martin. Nothing at all. Nothing. What did go wrong? I landed the plane, packed it in. Didn't cut any grass. I don't know. I'll have to check my Volanta. We'll check it together. I'm sure. I don't remember it clearly. It must have not been a very good landing, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, here's us. And as you can see, we did a pretty good job of following that SID. And here is Wojtek flying from Zurich to Santorini, so he should be on the ground by the time we get there. But of course we won't see him. Sad. There we go. So that's the current state of play. Go on then. What happened when I flew into Split? I've got nothing to hide. Like I said, Reykjavik, Keflavik. What? Keflavik? What happened at What? You're flying from Zurich, boss. What's Keflavik about? Let me go to my flights and we'll have a look at what happened into Split. I don't know. It's probably a little firm. LDSP, it would have been this one, the B line, right? Alright, so we flew from Brussels to Split, yes. I was very tired. I remember being very tired. I landed it at 572 feet per minute, which is not very smooth, but it's not horrific. But what happened? You're going to have to remind me what was so awful about it. I genuinely, I'm not trying to hide anything. I just can't remember. Just can't remember what went wrong. The textures are great. Hopefully they'll improve the systems. Yes. If they and also it hand flies very nicely. You don't get any of this loss of rudder control on the runway that you do with almost every other similar add-on plane. It's lovely to fly. I've butted it every single time I've landed it so far, which I do appreciate means I'm going to smash it down tonight. But you'll have to take my word for that. Oh, you should have departed from Keflavik to time the flight there. Yes, you should. Yeah, you should. What is wrong with my typing today? So many errors. Long day, boss. Long day. And I'm going to use this opportunity to set up some additional camera angles because I haven't got that many. Yes, that's absolutely right, Martin. We did have 3 nice approaches and 3 nice landings. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm quite harsh on myself with my landing. Right? It probably was a bit of a shoddy approach. I don't know. I've had quite a few shoddy approaches in the Phoenix, to be honest with you, so they kind of merged together in my brain. So yes, our route today is going to take us basically all the way down over the Adriatic states. So we're going to be flying over Croatia, obviously. We're still over Croatia. There should be some nice places to look out for, not least Dubrovnik, which we'll be coming to fairly shortly. Then we're going to go, we're going to be flying just over the coast of Montenegro, overhead Tirana in Albania, which might also be worth a look. And then out over Greece, all the way down Greece. Very, very close. In fact, we're going overhead Athens, so we'll have a look out for the airport when we do that. And yes, down out over the sea into Santorini. That was my fishing expedition for today. Yeah, I'm sorry it wasn't more fruitful, boss. If you'd asked me about certain other flights, I would have probably had a clearer memory and more stories to tell. But that one was... it's alright. Would you say the Phoenix is the best plane for MSFS at present? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. And the reason I went is because I was trying to think whether it's better than the PMDG 737 or not. And in most ways it is. The 737 is better performing by far, and I probably am enjoying it slightly more because I've been flying Airbuses in this sim for so long that it's just nice to fly a 737 and have something a bit different. But it's not as complete a simulation by a long stretch. The Phoenix, you know, you've got the EFB, you can calculate accurate takeoff speeds, landing distances, you've got working ACAS with all that goes along with that. The model's better, the textures are better. Yes, it is the best plane for MSFS at present, particularly when you consider that it's £20 cheaper than the PMDG 737. No, YouTube is rubbish, it doesn't let you post links. Although Simon did. Oh, but Simon's a mod. What is it you want to share, boss? Stick it in the Discord, I'll share it. Let's go, Johnny Depp won the trial. There we go. I haven't been following it at all, but I understand this is probably a good thing by most people's knowledge. Phoenix is good for people who like EFBs. That's faint praise, Sir Wojtek. Are you not enjoying the Phoenix, boss? Right, this is what Wojtek has is flying. A much beefier business jet than ours. It's not as pretty though. It's quite sort of utilitarian, isn't it, inside? It's great, just the performance is not so good. Yeah, it's true. I was just about to say it about Johnny Depp. I'm reading an article about it at the moment. Oh, right. Otherwise has a lot of potential, yeah. There have been a lot of complaints from FS Labs users about certain things which are not accurate. And they're right. There are certain things that are not accurate. But they're not the sort of things that I would have noticed if people hadn't pointed them out to me. And yeah, and I've been flying A320s for a very long time. So for me, there's no issues in it that actually put me off it, other than the performance. But, and I can't show you one here. I am saving up for a new PC so that I can have buttery smooth streams, better frame rates. And if you'd like to donate to that fund, you can by going to streamelements.com/philbertflies. Hashtag just saying. And I will make sure it gets added to the totalizer over on Twitch, which is where we're doing most of it. Treed we when only a Honda is Honda. Honda commercial. Very good, Boz. And thank you very, very much indeed for your 8th month of Club Philbert membership at Bronze. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. We are, Riley. Yep. Simbrief's given me a flight level 390, and I think that's a little high for this plane, but we're going to keep climbing and see what happens. Probably don't need to be doing 250 knots now. How do we switch to Mac, I wonder? Do we switch to Mac? Don't know. Will said I should press CPL. But perhaps that's only when you're at the top of climb. That doesn't seem to be doing anything. Apparently it stops you having to meddle so much with your thrust levers to get them get a steady speed. I don't think there is a way of selecting Mac, unless anyone knows better. New Phoenix update incoming. 25% performance increase on average, apparently. Oh, that's fantastic. But yes, still accepting donations for a new PC, because I will need one. I think the ceiling is flight level 430. Oh, okay, we should be fine at 390 then. Sarah Bella, hello. Important people in the back, max speed, none of this economy business. Yeah. The only reason I'm limiting it to 250 knots is because we're climbing. And in fact, I think to get us up there, I'm going to select a slightly lower speed. Because we are pretty high now. I can't select Mach. I would probably select Mach 0.66, so let's try and fiddle that with the speed. That'll do us. Because we were having a very, very low climb rate. It is a long time. Yeah, nice to see you. How's life? I've just been over having an argument with someone on Instagram in the plane spotting community. It really hurt me how mean some people can be, and it's the bigger accounts you'd expect to advise you. Oh, Riley, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's not good. That's really not good. Flight simming community should be a friendly place, and it usually is, but there's always exceptions. Ooh, the Phoenix update is coming. I was testing a test build from them that will help people who have 4-core CPUs and were experiencing stuttering with the displays. Ooh, nice. How did you get involved with that, Scott? Copenhagen Control is closed. Now to try and get access to that stupid AIP. What, the Greek one? I still think the working title CJ4 is a better simulation of a small jet. I love the working title CJ4. I think it's more stable. The only thing I don't like about it is the rudder control on the ground issue. But yeah. I think we should stream that soon, actually. I haven't flown it for blooming ages. I should also finish off my flows for it and put them on my website. Not much flight simming lately, though. Oh, really? Oh, it's a shame. But no, they are just full of themselves and laugh at the smaller, less well-off people like me calling my stuff crap. No! Riley, that's horrible. That is horrible. I don't know who that was, but that should not have happened. Yeah, was it their photos that was it your photos? Surely not that they were calling crap. Photos are really good. Yes, DLSS. Hopefully that will be the performance panacea that we're all hoping for. Okay, you're keen for a CJ4 stream. Good. Where's my Stream Elements message? Boss, what did you do? Did I make a decision about FEMA sound effects? Right, I want to talk to you about this, Trudeau. I want to use them. They're really, really good. But I just feel a bit uncomfortable. People giving me bits for something that you have done. That feels a little bit off to me. So it's up to you, boss, really. I wanted to talk to you about it before doing it, though. You did a thing! Did you do a thing? Did you do a thing? Did you do a thing using the link from Twitch? Because they are not connected anymore, unfortunately. When in the Streamlabs days, I had one donation link. In the Stream Elements days, they're totally separate. But let me see what you did. You did! You tipped £10! But you did it on the Twitch version. Boss! Thank you. Wait, I will sort this out for you. I will sort this out for you by hook or by crook. Thank you ever so much. There are two Stream Elements links. One of them is for Twitch. One of them is for YouTube. I think you must have used the YouTube. If I know you've used the Twitch one because it's coming out on my Twitch thing. Right, hang on. What I'm going to do now is donate myself £10. I'm going to donate myself £10 the right link. And then you should get a notification. I'm going to pretend to be you. No, not at all. It was a fair assumption you made, boss. I'm going to get myself 10 Avios out of it as well. I should do this more often, just send myself money from my credit card. It is an important notice. I've copied and pasted it. There we are.
Honda make good lawn mowers.
Oh god, it's not Brian, it's someone else. Never mind. Thank you again, Wojtek, for that. And if, yeah, this is the link you need. Anyone else who's considering donating to the new PC fund. The good thing is, though, that will have gone up on the Twitch totalizer, so I don't have to do it. That was my plan anyway, that if people donate via the YouTube tip link, then I would just send myself £10 via the Streamlabs link to add it to the totalizer. So yeah, thank you very much, boss. No, it's done. There we go. Turns out he's a person with 3,000 followers. Plenty of people I know follow and support him, and I'm over here getting slated by the same person. Well, Riley, he sounds like an absolute dick, quite frankly. And I don't use that word lightly on stream. If this plane gets a bit more mature, I might just buy it, being somewhat of a bizjet enthusiast. Yeah, I think it's got potential. I'm going to need to wind that speed down a little bit more if we're ever going to get there. Because I don't think you can set a Mach number still. You want me to give you copyright license or something? No. It's up to you. No, I don't need anything in writing. It's just a question of if you're happy with that or if you'd be a little bit... I don't know. If I was you, I might just think, I've just recorded my voice for this guy to use in sound alerts, and he's making money out of it, and I might not like that. But if you're happy with it, then I will, of course, I would love to use them. I had some of my photos up on TikTok. I did it before I had a camera and after. They posted about 1 billion comments saying it's still crap. So I asked him to show me his, and he gave me his Insta. Turns out he's a person with 3,000 followers. Plenty of people I know follow and support him, and I'm over here getting slated by the same person. Not worth a moment of your time, boss. Alright, we'll try it out. Trudeau. When we're back on Twitch, I will have them. Yes, group message alert. That's what the frog is for those of you who don't know. Is it Brenda? I don't know. That sounds entirely plausible. The Honda Make Good Lawnmowers thing was widely used back in the 90s when the VW Golf versus Honda Civic wars were going on the forums. Oh, right, okay, I hadn't heard it before. I thought it was a reference to my slightly wobbly landing where I was trying to work out what my CAS warnings were about. It works on multiple levels though, Voita. Just say yes, it's too awesome not to use. Ryan, it's only available through the Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace, this jet. So if you go into MSFS, go to Marketplace, you'll see it in there. I'm just leave it. I won't take it too far. I'd like this guy gone altogether. Yeah. Drop me a DM about it if you want, boss. I'd be more than happy to go and comment. Great airplane. Back to the A320 now. No, boss. Back to the 737 now, because we need to do some Schiphol flights. From the Filbert Flies advertising jetways. But yes, I think this is a fun aeroplane. It's something different to stream, something different to fly. I can't see it overtaking. I can't see it getting a lot more outings on my streams, at least until it's patched and comes with documentation and that. Put it that way. Quite late. I know, boss. I know. I can only apologise for that. I have a memory like a sieve. But thank you very much for the sub. Someone just subbed and I missed it and it doesn't show up in my chat for some reason. But thank you, whoever that was. If anyone else is watching, I would really appreciate a sub. I'd also really appreciate a like on the stream. Makes a big difference to my discoverability. The algorithm, the YouTube algorithm likes. So if you wouldn't mind clicking that thumbs up button, it would be lovely. As well as subscribing, turning on notifications. Schiphol CJ4, you're too kind, boss. 737 from Schiphol. CJ4 from somewhere else. I also want to do a bit more VFR streaming. I really do. There are some. Well, I was talking to Will about doing some more. You know, we did. Well, a lot of you won't know because you weren't around then. But in the very early days of my YouTube channel, we did a VFR tour all the way around the UK, called Bimbles Around Britain. And Will was talking about doing something similar, and I thought, well, I don't really want to do all that again, but I would love to refly some of the legs. There were some absolutely stunning legs in Wales and in Scotland. So yes, perhaps a bit more of that as well. I bought it yesterday night. Does it have any documents? No, it doesn't. But the developer apparently is working on a manual. I've been summoned by your horrible Schiphol pronunciation. Rude. Rude. The more I do it, the better I'll get. It's all about practice. Look, I know it's not Schiphol, I know it's not Skiphol, and I know it's something like Schiphol. Martin's been trying to teach me, and he's been very positive. We have 2 Dutch people in this chat, as a minimum, and one of them is my favourite, put it that way. Bimbles around Britain, that's how you know you're a Filbert OG. It's true. It's true. Thank you, Trolls. I do too. We'll work on your Schiphol and Martin pronunciation very soon, boss. Good. Good. It is getting better. Good. But yeah, I've got all of the flight plans for Bimbles Around Britain soon. So I really want to do the Snowdonia one where we ended up in Caernarfon again, because that was stunning. I really want to do some of the Scottish Highlands ones. And there's also some new airports that I'd like to show you all, which won't necessarily be part of that. But for ages I've been wanting to show off Burning Blue Design stuff on stream. And I just, because I get fewer views with VFR streams, I just don't tend to do it. But I think perhaps if I did more of it, then I'd get more VFR people watching and it would be a whole new influx. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, it'll be fun regardless. And at some point we're going to go to Mount Cook and fly helicopters. There's a newish scenery from NZA Simulations that Sergio Del Rosso worked on, who's done some fantastic freeware airports. and I want to show you that. You're welcome to fly along. There might be a giveaway. So there's lots to look forward to, and most of it will be on Twitch. So make sure that you follow me at twitch.tv/philbertflies so as not to miss out. And you get to see my beautiful face on Twitch. You don't get to see it here. If that's not an incentive, I don't know what is. Are you controlling now, Treedweewen? And if so, how's it going? You're in tears. Which ILS chart was the weird one, boss? I found the AIP. It was. Yes, but someone told me it's because I had airliner charts selected, so I think we got to the bottom of that. Let me just work out which one it was, though. It was the VOR Alpha approach in Santorini. JEP chart 13-2, but I imagine you won't be looking at JEP charts. So yeah, VOR Alpha for Santorini. Yes, how do we change that? Isn't that weird? I don't even know where my settings are. Maybe you get it from the charts list, do you? Settings? No. I don't know. Don't know how you do that. Ah, there we are. It's under your username. Yes, so you can switch between standard IFR and airliner. And I bet now if I look at this chart, it will be the one we saw in the plane. No, it's not. It's the same one. The mystery continues. Oh, we've made it to flight level 390. Hallelujah. So we'll press this CSC button, which Will says helps it to maintain your speed. I think he's seen that on a stream. By the way, I'm flying Norwegian, but München ATC confused me with New Zealand. How did they manage that? Voice incoming. Yes, indeed. Good evening, Mark. Would love to refly some of the Bimble's legs, and I'm more than happy to be known as a Philbert OG. Good. I'm glad. We'll do it. We'll do some group flights for everyone. Can confirm Philbert has a face. Well, that's not strict. That's not really everything I promise, is it? Send the real life one on Discord. Thank you. And how did you change that? I shall show you. So, you go to your account settings up here. You go to settings, and then under charts you can go standard IFR. I'm just wondering if it's because it's already there. Open charts list, approach, VOR Alpha. No, it's still only got the one option. Don't know. Turn it back to airline ACA before I get confused in the future, though. If you reload Navigraph, it'll have the correct chart. Oh, will it? Okay. Hello, Keith. How are you? You're off-world, right? Are you off-world? Or have I imagined that? For now, yes. This is neither PMDG nor Phoenix. This is the new HondaJet that's been released, that was released yesterday. It is nice to see it. Yes, it is. It's a cool little plane. I wish it was slightly better than it is, but it's a cool little plane. So where are we? Let's zoom right out on the map. So we're about coming up to a third of the way there, I would say. So a bit early to start worrying about our approach. I reckon we might not have done a checklist or two, though. Done that. Cruise, altimeter, altitude, set systems, monitor. Doing it now, monitoring them very, very closely. Close Navigraph and reopen it, then it'll be correct with standard IFR set. Okay, let's do that. How did you know? How did you ask me how to change it and then instantly know that? No, it's the same one, boss. Hasn't worked, even though I've got standard IFR set and closed it and reopened it. Let me try reloading the route and see if that does it. No, same chart, same chart. I think Keith is known as Offworld on Twitch. Maybe not actually. Maybe that's a different Keith. I don't know. I have issues pairing up Twitch and YouTube names. Which would I prefer out of what? PMG or Phoenix? Probably the Phoenix. Right, I'm going to go for a walk to clear my head. Might be back for a rival, but don't count me on it. Okay, enjoy your walk, Riley. And, thanks for popping by. And I'm sorry that happened again. But yes. Your photos are awesome, boss. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I remember when the Embraer Phenom 100 came to MSFS, but it got quickly pulled due to copyright issues. Did it? That totally passed me by, you know. Yeah, this is not a patch on the PMDG or the Phoenix. It's too buggy. It's fun, but it's not anywhere near as complete or as reliable as those two. Well, I figured it out in the meantime. Okay. Oh, that worked for me. Maybe you have to force close now. Oh, maybe, yeah. I don't care enough to bother with it. Oh, you're loving on my Discord. Right. Yes. Okay. Let me update my my cheat sheet, because I will forget that again. Oh, yes. Yes, that ICAO chart does have both circles on it. And it's better. I mean, generally they are better. But, yeah. So that's what the ICAO chart looks like. For the approach we'll be doing. Anyway, we'll do whatever the aeroplane tells us to do, basically, which I think will be the wider circle, and that's okay. Even though I'm fairly sure we're not a category C or D aircraft. Oh well, off to bed. Have a nice flight and a good landing. Thank you, Trails. Nice to see you as always. I shall see you soon, boss. I think we need to have a flyby. I also think we need to work out where we are, because I keep saying I'm going to show you points of interest en route and then forgetting about them. Yeah, we've missed Tirana. But we should be able to see Billisht coming up in a moment, so I'll show you Billisht. Nice. Oh yes, let's have a look for Billisht. Albania looks very, very pretty, doesn't it? I'd like to go. My friend went to Albania for work. He enjoyed it. Yeah, Billisht is a little way off still. Oh no, I can't find my cheat sheet. This is a nightmare. Ah yes, here it is. Right. So... Keith is... Sorry, we'll catch up with the chat in a minute. McLovin, that's the one. Yeah, you've been flying with us, haven't you? Did you not? Did you come on the Bimbles? I think you did. It's only been on some group flight or other. You're a Cat B aircraft, by the way. Yeah, I assumed I would be. I just completed a flight from southwest Greenland to Goose Bay in Canada in VR this evening. Part of my journey from the northwest of England to Oshkosh. Oh, awesome. What are you flying? I tried to do a Dark Star flyby the other day, but when I started the flyby in Hong Kong, it was already in Indonesia. Do you have the working title G3000 installed? Yes, but that's untrue. That is untrue, that the avionics and autopilot act kind of weird. The avionics and autopilot do act kind of weird, but it's nothing to do with whether you have the G3000 installed or not. And they've actually clarified this on the Discord server, because I did my first flight without the G3000 and the G3X installed. And then someone said, oh, you should install the G3X and the G3000, and I did, and it made no difference. But yes, on their Discord server for the HJet, it specifically says the HJet uses its own version of working titles G3000. It is contained in the install package and is not reliant upon or affected by working titles standalone G3000. So that was a rumour that was flying around, but it's not true. It doesn't matter, Dennis. It doesn't matter. If you've got it installed, fine, but you don't need to install it for the plane to work. DA62, lovely. Lovely. That is such a cool flight. I've considered doing a transatlantic GA flight at some point myself. Has it all gone alright so far? What? Why is my view not working? I set a view on this side, or I thought I had. Clearly not. Right. Control Alt 1. Alt 3. Alt 1. There we are. That's working now. Just a reminder, if you are enjoying the stream, I would love it if you would give the video a like, and also if you'd subscribe to the channel. That would help me immensely. Also, come join the Discord, and come join me over on Twitch. I do most of my streaming over there, so if you give us a follow, turn on notifications, you will never miss a stream again on either platform. I prefer the PMDG, as I said. Do you know what happens? Do you happen to know what CSC and CPL do? No, I don't. I've got no idea at all. I pressed CSC because Will told me that it should help the aircraft to maintain the speed, I think by making small adjustments to N1 or trying to keep N1 steady. Just turn it off and see what difference it makes. So it has made things change here. That's set a 93.2 target with CSC on. 93.5 with it off. Don't know. CPL. That also does something with CSC. But no, this is why I want documentation. I want to understand these things. Inspired by some YouTube videos where I watched someone fly from Austria to Oshkosh via the UK Faro. Next stop is Canada to Bangor, Maine, then through New York and west to Chicago. Really cool, really cool. Just the AI ATC giving me flight levels that the aircraft can't manage. Yeah, the built-in ATC is just hopeless. I don't think I'd ever bother with it. I'd rather fly with no ATC than that, to be honest. There was a new offline ATC program that came out and that I was going to have a look at, but completely forgot. It seemed quite good. Obviously, we've got Pilot to ATC, which is quite good. There's Profight Flip 3, it wasn't that, but there was a whole new one that I now can't find. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know. I definitely read about something. Maybe it was coming out, maybe it isn't out yet, and that's why I can't find it. It's possible. Right, I'm just going to take a short break, nip to the loo, get myself a drink, and then maybe we can start thinking about the descent and arrival. Back in a mo. Oh, ignore the time. That was from the Club Filbert Silver Flight. Back soon. There we go, that's better. Yep, won't be a mo. Right, I am back. It was also my first transatlantic flight, which I'm quite proud of. Oh, so you should be. You'd never flown an airliner across the Atlantic or anything like that. That is a baptism of fire, flying a little GA plane all that way. Good evening, Jamie. How are you? So for you, Jamie, and anyone else who has joined since I talked about what we're doing, we are taking the HondaJet out for its first flight on stream. This is the 4th flight I've done in it, and it's gone reasonably well, to be honest. A couple of little bugs still, but so far so good. Blimey, Rodrigo, hello, welcome. It's been ages since I've seen your name. How are you? It's looking pretty good, isn't it? It's a weird looking plane. It's a weird looking plane. I think it's a bit Marmite, if you love it or hate it. Very well, thank you. Very well. So we're over Greece now. We've got Descati over on our left. See if we can have a look at that. Not even an airliner, gosh. That must have been so exciting when you know, saw land after those huge, huge transatlantic legs. Very true, New Brits. I do need to practice pronouncing Schiphol more. That wasn't a good one. No better place to do that than in Schiphol. I liked that last one. I feel that last one was close, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Today we're flying the HondaJet from Split to Santorini. And I am also eating an ice cream. You like the first one? The first one was just Schiphol, more or less, wasn't it? Anyway, yeah, you're just going to have to give me elocution lessons, Martin, I think. Sounded less forced. Okay. It is kind of futuristic. It's operated like it was made in 2030 as well. It's really, really automated. All of the lights are automatic. All of the systems are automatic. You don't have to do anything with packs or leads or anything. It just... Basically, the hardest part is learning the G3000 and also dealing with the bugs in this version of the G3000. But fundamentally, if you wanted to, you could just push these two buttons, move the thrust levers forward, and fly. That really is all you'd need to do to get it off the ground. Ooh! Also, I don't have a command for this on YouTube, only on Twitch, but I have a new website, which was designed and built for me by Will Hinchy, and you should check it out. It's good. It's got a stream schedule. It's got a whole archive of all of my review videos, all of my tutorial videos. It's got some very useful flows and downloads. So do pop by there and give it a look. Time, give me a DM. Okay, I shall. Give me a DM is also absolutely fine. Send or give. Most Dutch people don't even pronounce the full... What's the GGG? Is that the ch bit? Really? So it basically is what I'm hearing here is I should just say Schiphol and be done with it, right? YouTube commands are, I just haven't spent as much time setting them up as I should have done, probably. Whoever Ali74 is, I presume it's someone watching the stream. Thank you very much for following me over on Twitch. Santorini traffic, oi oi! Phil, but what do you think about the B747 with landing? Which B747? My advice with any 747 is to flare early. Flare it earlier than you think. Just leave the K out and a bit of G and it sounds wonderful. Okay, so more Schiphol. Schiphol rather than Schiphol. Schiphol. Not sure I'm getting it. With all due respect, Dutch is one of those languages that are only spoken properly by natives. Skipol's correct pronunciation sounds like someone's got their mouth full, right? Would I recommend buying this plane in this state? No. No, in a word, I wouldn't. I would wait until the manual's finished, because I found it really, really frustrating just pushing buttons and trying to work out what was going on. And I would also wait for the hotfix and see how that improves things. So that's my gut feeling. At the same time, £20, if £20 isn't that much money to you and you want to try something new and you don't mind feeling your way around, trying things out, finding some things work better than others, then it might be worth it for you. But as a blanket statement, is it worth buying this aircraft in its current state? No. I will continue to embroider on your current pronunciation since it's your best one yet. Embroider on it? Gotta be honest, Martin, that's a new one on me. But I guess you mean base it on when we have our lesson, base it on that and improve it? Landed horrible landing, didn't get a tip from Jennifer Aniston, nor did she ask me out for a drink. Oh boy, I'm sorry to hear that, boss. Oh, Scott, that sucked. That sucks. Whereabouts were you? What were you going to fly? Aerosoft is watching you again. That sounds slightly sinister. What do you mean, boss? Is one of them here in the stream? I don't even know if you can see who's watching on YouTube. It's been so long since I've streamed here. Yes, base it on that and improve it. Okay, sounds good, sounds good. Unless you're on Xbox, because it's literally the best plane on the whole system. What, this one is? Really? Oh, that is annoying, boss. I just... Okay. Making Aerosoft sound like Big Brother, yes. So just a timely reminder, if there's anyone watching who hasn't subscribed yet, it would be great if you'd subscribe. If there's anyone watching who hasn't clicked the thumbs up button, I would really appreciate if you'd do that as well. What is the best plane with the yoke, Filber? Best plane with a yoke? In MSFS or PMDG 737 by a long stretch? Certainly in terms of airliners. Yeah, it's a shame what happened to Captain Sim. I've been enjoying their 757 in P3D. It's a good plane. It's not quite PMDG level, but it's a good plane. Very good, Alex. Very good, boss. Someone needs to do an ATR. Someone is doing an ATR, I think. Can't remember who, but I think someone's doing one. Asobo is doing an ATR. We shall see. Might be good, might not be. But I think someone else is doing a payload one as well. I think. Martin! Thank you very, very much indeed for the sub. Much appreciated. Ah, Milviz. Yes, Milviz are doing one. You are right. You are right. That will be good. I really want an Embraer. No, I really, really want an Embraer. Can't wait for that. That and the A220 for Swiss Ops. And, of course, Treedrewen Ops. Not you, boss. I appreciate you also. There was another Martin who subscribed. Yes, popping off on the group WhatsApps this evening. I'm sorry about the frogs. I think we are probably at a stage now where we can start just setting up for the arrival. We've done most of it, but I would like to add some constraints so that I can show you the VNAV. So I'm just going to have a look at... In fact, let's get our charts up on here. I always forget that you can do this. Charts. Okay, nice. It's gone to Santorini now, which is good. So we are doing the Peksan 1 Alpha arrival. So we'll have a look at that chart. It's very easy. Oh, hello. I did not ask you to do that. What are you doing? Peksan 1 Alpha. Peksan. Fly to the Santorini VOR. Easy peasy. No constraints. And for the approach, as I said earlier, we're doing the VOR Alpha, which looks like this. And what this is showing us is that when we get to the VOR, i.e. at the end of that star, we want to be at 3,500 feet. Then we want to come out to 8 DME from the VOR and be at 3,000 feet. And we want to stay at 3,000 feet as we turn around and come back into the initial approach fix. And then we'll be flying visually from there. Yes? Yeah, we could probably start our descent during the turn. Anyway, we'll set 3,500 at the VOR and 3,000 at the next waypoint. I'm not convinced about this. I'm not convinced that this flight plan has gone in correctly. As I say, I'm not that experienced with this plane, but it seems to be taking it. We've got double Peksan, which we don't want. We just don't want. Let's try reprogramming the arrival. Peksan 1 Alpha, runway 33. Let's just remove it and let's load it again. See what difference that's made, if any. Hello, Rahul. Welcome. Maybe the A220 devs can help fly-by-wire bring over the Pratt & Whitney 1000. Ooh, maybe. That would be good. PEX double waypoints can cause problems. Can we delete? No. Can we delete? No. Okay, so we're a bit stuck with that then. Whatevs, we'll work it out. We can always do directs. So, at the VOR, as I was saying, we want to be at 3,500 feet. Again, it's very hard to know whether this is just me being a noob or whether it's a bug. I don't know, because there's no documentation. 3,000 feet for this user waypoint, which represents the 8 DME point here, or here, depending on which one it takes us along. And then we'll start a descent, and that'll do us. Hang on. 3,000 feet, please. Yes. No, it's overwritten that one now. 3,500 and 3,000. Done. If we go to the VNAV page, this is not yet active, but it will become active once we start our descent, I believe. So now we'll go back to the map display. And we've got time to top of descent showing here, 7 minutes 38. It's giving us a flight path angle of -3 degrees, which sounds about right. and we'll see what happens. We'll set a lower altitude and engage VNAV when we get closer. The time to top of descent is going up, and now it's going down. Don't know what that's about. All very odd. Whatevs. E145 would be glorious. High fidelity, none of that virtual cold business. Yes, and I think someone is working on them. I think. You have this all the time in the longitude. You think it's something to do with this desync? Yeah, it could be, but I don't know how to fix that without starting again. Yeah, I was only saying earlier I'd like to do some more VFR flights, Rodrigo. So yes, I'm very well, thank you, Rahul. Very well. How are you? I'm not working no more for Aerosoft and all the others third-party developer, and I'm so sad that I don't fly anymore. My rig hangs on the wall, but I love to see streams like this. It's nice to have you here. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Sigmund. What's happened with your what's happened with your rig? How come you've stopped flying? I'm good, bro. By the way, watching your stream from India. Nice! Which part of India are you in? This is your first time here. I'm sure we've had a Rahul, but it might not have been you. Anyway, welcome either way. Mumbai, nice. Nice. I've never been to India. I'd love to come at some point. Weirdest looking plane's probably this one, you know. Probably because he needs a new GPU, which, you know, will run you a kidney these days. Yeah. I hear they're coming down in price. I hear they're coming down. Good thing you have two, yeah. So we're just approaching Athens now. Hopefully we'll get a bit of a look at it as we fly over. Greets from Germany, always happy landings. Thank you, Sigmund. Saw your stream recommended to me, so just randomly bumped in and I'm not regretting it. Good, I'm pleased. Nothing worse than clicking on a stream and wishing you hadn't. Renia, hello! Awesome stream, thank you very much, and greetings to you in South Africa. How are you? And which bit of South Africa are you from? So that airport you can see down below to the left there is Tatoi or Tatoi. Don't know which one. Don't know how it's pronounced. Tatoi. And yes, we're just this is Athens essentially. We're over the outskirts of Athens at the moment. I've only got a single RX 6800 XT. Cost me $1,000 when I built a new PC a year ago. Yeah. Crazy money. And here we have many airports. Athens has more airports than I realised. So the one that we're just overflying is Athens Hellenikon Airport, LGAT. And then the other one that we can see ahead and to the left is the main airport, which I flew out of earlier today. Athens, what's it called? Venizelos. Don't know. Pronunciation bad. Greek pronunciation very bad. Speaking English very bad as well, apparently. great. Yes, beautiful Algarve. Yeah, it's lovely. I originally was going to stream from there to Santorini, but I figured that'd only be a half-hour flight. Or I found out it was only a half-hour flight, so I thought I'd better go from somewhere a little further away. That would barely be worth firing up the sim. Never mind streaming it. Let's try and get a screenshot of this. Something like that, yes. Granted, my PC was top of the line last year. Yes, so mine's about 5 years old, and it was the best of the best when I got it. But it's time for a new one. Hence me saving up for a new one. And if anyone would like to donate to that fund, then streamelements.com/filbertfly is where you want to go. No pressure. I don't like to bang on about it. I want to zoom out. I cannot. Yes, I can zoom out. So as you can see, we are now only 45 seconds from our top of descent. So what we'll do is we'll select a lower altitude. And we will hit VNAV. And the VNAV implementation is, I would say, dodgy. But we'll see how it does today. But in the past, what I've had it do is dive me down and then level me off for no reason, even though I've only given it one constraint, which is 3,500 feet over the VOR. That's the only thing it needs to worry about. But yes, we shall see. Let's not preempt it. Right, 3,500, and I guess we could do our next checklist, probably. So landing field elevation. It says verify set. I don't know where we're supposed to set this, because there's no documentation. So I've just been ignoring that. Yes, as you can see, it's diving us down. We are overspeeding, but that's okay. We can fix that. A little bit of overspeed never hurt anyone. 4,500 feet per minute. Crazy. This is not the VNAV descent path that we were promised with a 3-degree profile. But anyway, I wanted to demonstrate this aircraft, good and bad, and this is what you're seeing now. Can you set the minimums? I don't know how to do it, but probably. Long story, but I will come back. Okay. Bro, if you don't mind, I would like to suggest you to do one flight to Mumbai or Delhi from one of your favourite locations. We have flown. Where have we flown? We've flown from Delhi a few times, actually. But yes, I'm sure I'll be back. The thing is, I like flying to places which have good add-on scenery, freeware or payware. And there are a few Indian airports that do. Mumbai, as far as I recall, at least last time I checked, had an okay freeware scenery. But that was about it. I'm going to Google it now. We have the Orbex City Pack, which I didn't know about. We'll have to get that. Yeah, there's a dodgy looking payware. But yeah, I should do some more flying in India. And I shall have a look at routes. Hello dear, welcome! How are you? My PC was top of the range once, now it's really average. Yeah, same boat as me, Scott. You see, now it's basically levelling us out. And Ali, I think, who was it who I was talking to earlier in the VC? It was Paul, it was Melon Lord Paul. He worked out that what it's doing is it's setting behind the scenes an altitude for each waypoint, which is a default MSFS fin, rather than calculating a smooth profile to the altitude we've set, which is 3,500 feet, as you can see. So that's why it dives you and levels you out and dives you and levels you out. So that's something that really, really does need fixing, because a working VNAV is the norm, I would say, with a payware aircraft these days, and this one doesn't really work by most definitions of the word. So, approach checklist next, but we'll do that once we pass the transition level. What are you using to fly line? Fly line? Mouse yoke? You can see my system specs below. I'm using a side stick and rudder pedals and a throttle quadrant. Is the second Prexar the beginning of your approach segment, i.e. will start once you accept the approach? There should only be one Pexar. Sorry, Pexan. There should only be one Pexan. I assume that's the one you mean. But I cannot remove either of them. So we have two. So if I click here, I think I should be able to remove the waypoint. Although I tell you what I might be able to do actually is change that. So if we do UM601, can I delete that? Yes, that should just take us nettest direct to Pexam. No, that's just got rid of Pexam. Marvellous. Yeah, so I've got rid of both Pexams there. We're going nettest straight to the airport now. See? Not good. Not good. Buggy. Let's try and removing this and re-adding it. That's going to have totally screwed up my descent now. Never mind. Now we've got double Netis. See, we shouldn't have double Netis. Let's put Pexam back. UM601. Jesus, there's a lot of options here. Pexan. Load airway. Okay. We've got double Netis. We're going Gendo Nectis, Pexan Netis. Not good. 3,500 feet there. 3,000 feet there. And it doesn't seem to want us to descend anyway, so God knows. God knows. We'll just stay at this altitude. We'll VNav is white. Just going to rearm that to make sure. So yeah, it's going to descend to 186 feet per minute, and hopefully we'll re-intercept a whole new VNav path shortly. Yeah, but it shouldn't be doubled up. It shouldn't be doubled up, Wojtek. That was the... No, it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay. You shouldn't have duplicate waypoints. That causes the displays to freeze. I tend to agree with you, Rahul. I hope it gets better. I hope it gets better, but at the moment it's very buggy and undocumented, so it's all a bit of guesswork. Longitude traumas incoming. My wife, Shalini, is a big fan of your page. She is a stewardess in Holland for Transavia. Oh, hello, Shalini. If you're watching, glad to hear it. Glad you're enjoying the content. We had this the other day, and it may be how it's supposed to show it, but it causes stuttering in the displays and freezing. And the advice was to remove duplicate waypoints. Philbert, do you think you will do a smooth landing? Yes. Yes, I do. Because I did it earlier and I landed very nicely. I don't know for 100%, obviously things could go wrong, but I'm feeling fairly confident. Did you do the VNav page in the flight plan menu? I didn't have an option to do it, but it normally pre-populates when you put altitudes. Ah, Ooh, this could be. You're right. I've done VNav enabled. 19 seconds from top of descent. Let's try that. Let's see. Let's see. I'm pretty sure every other VNav descent that I've done before that has pre-populated itself. Don't know why I've let myself get quite this slow. But I'm pretty sure that was on before and it still did the whole diving thing and then leveling out. Yeah, you see. There ain't no passengers in the back who'll be flying with me again after this experience, I tell you. It's like a roller coaster. And of course we could just do a... we could just switch to vertical speed, or we could switch to flight level change. But we shouldn't have to, so we're not going to. We're just going to see what the aircraft does. And you can see it for yourself. Good bits, bad bits, and everything in between. From 1 to 10, how do you rate this add-on? In its current state, for £20, I would rate it 4. What's this? Sorry, what's the imaginary scenery? Oh, I think that was it. You didn't have VNav enabled. But I'm pretty sure I did, because I think it automatically enables when you arm VNav on the autopilot. I think. Certainly, I've looked before, and I've come down, and it's said VNav enabled. But it's still doing that thing, you see. It's going to level us off, and it's showing another top of descent. And it dived us at 4,500 feet per minute, which is not very good. Yeah, it still dives. Have you had it not dive then? Because every time I've used it, it's dived. And level us out, and then it'll dive again. I really wish Stream Elements would sort out alerts for resubs. Oh dear. It's not good, Rodrigo. Did you have both autopilots engaged? There we are, another cheeky dive. Even though we're clearly... No, we were, yeah, it was showing us as way above path. But that's because it doesn't calculate them right. That Mumbai City pack of MSFS is just imaginary scenery, not exact one. Yeah, okay, yes. Oh, good night, yes. Hope to see you again, Rahul. And thanks for popping by. Do click the thumbs up if you haven't already. And sleep well. Have a good sleep. And just a reminder, these are the ways you can support the channel. You can follow me on Twitch, where I do most of my streams. You can join the Discord server to hang out in between streams. And you can also join Club Filbert by becoming a member and be one of the best people in the world by doing that. Best people in the world, I don't know. The Club Filbert pitch is very variable, but anyway. It's 3 tiers. The cheapest is only £1.99 a month, which is an absolute steal. It also is very, very fond of 30-degree turns, which I also don't think the passengers particularly like. So do you remember when we were looking at the plan for the arrival, and it just showed a straight line out and a straight line back? You can see it's now turned that into a triangle. So it has got that waypoint. It is going to fly the VOR approach quite nicely, I think. I don't know, Martin. I don't know. Right, this music is getting a little bit drudgery. A little bit drudgery? Dirgy. I'm gonna say dirgy. So I think to perk us up for the arrival, we should have a few more Greek tunes. Because we are, of course, landing in a Greek island. We've had the classy bit of the flight. It's time for something more raucous. Can't believe I paid 30k for this flight. The pilot keeps diving at random and my Dom Perignon goes everywhere and he turns. See, I told you the passengers wouldn't like it. I told you. Right, let's get the seatbelt sign on. And they'd better put out the cigarettes as well, I think, to be honest with you. And the transition levels in Greece tend to be fairly high. So we're going to set local pressure now, which is 1011. Right, and we'll go through the approach checklist. So, seats and signs adjusted and secure. Are the signs secure? I assume so. I don't know. I don't know how I'd know that. Cabin signs as required, yes. Avionics set, landing data set and confirmed. CAS messages. We don't have any, which is good. Approach briefing. What we're going to do is fly that approach what I showed you earlier. Done. And flaps will soon be going into takeoff approach. Something we can add to the story, it's a cult for the best people in the world. And here we have beautiful Santorini, which I highly recommend as a holiday destination. It's a lovely, lovely island. The only other thing that we probably ought to do is to tune the VOR. We're not going to use raw data, but it's nice to have the option, you know. So 110.4 is the Santorini VOR. Boom, done. And our approach speeds we haven't done either. So let's do those. Initialization, so speed bugs, landing. Now it's always calculated my landing speeds here. Let's see, get from sim, yes. V approach of 113, V ref of 108. We'll turn both of those on and you can see that they will be bugged when we get there. And it's leveling us off nicely at 3,500, which is where we want to be as we overfly the airport. And then we'll start our further descent to 3,000. So in here, this is where all the cruise ships go, and you've got the main old town of Thera somewhere up here, and there are steps down to like a little sort of cove area, loads of nice restaurants, lovely views, beautiful sunsets. Everyone should go to Santorini once at least. It's a lovely, lovely place. It is a small plane for a jet, yeah. There we are. I hope you feel suitably in the mood for a Greek holiday now. We'll stop the music there, concentrate on the flying. And there's the airport coming into view now. And Wojtek hopefully has the bubbly open ready for our arrival. Gorgeous weather. Let me just get the latest METAR so we know what sort of winds we're dealing with. Winds from 290 at speed at 7 knots. Okay, that's so we have a little bit of a crosswind from the left. Should be okay though. Should be okay. And I think we'll get the speed down to 200 knots for our turn. And then we'll also be ready to get our first stage of flaps out, which will be nice. Misaka is waiting. Awesome. I love a good Misaka. Couldn't ask for more than that, Voita. You've excelled yourself, boss. Okay, let's get the speed down a little bit further. And flaps are now in takeoff approach, so we can check that one off. And we'll try and maintain about 180 knots for now. Lovely ships down here from the Seafront Simulations add-on as well. Really, really nice, isn't it? Bloody love Greek islands. Let's just zoom in a little bit on the map. It will be a visual final, yes. Yes. I'll probably show you the chart quickly again, actually. So yeah, this is what we're doing. So we're flying outbound here to a heading of 117 to 8 DME. Then we're going to swing round, and it's an offset approach, as you can see. So we'll be coming in from the right of the runway, and from this point onwards, we'll just fly it manually. And we'll set a heading of 324. Just in case everything goes wrong. And we'll descend to 3,000 feet. And we'll use VS mode for this. And as you can see, the way the aircraft deals with this is by doing 3 straight legs. It doesn't show a proper turnaround, and it's actually cutting it a little bit short. But you know, it does the job. It does the job. I know, I noticed that. Yeah, the FDs sort of turn off temporarily and then flash back on again. Yeah. But it's okay. I'm adept at ignoring them. Thank you, Martin. Appreciate it. Which plane will take more fuel, jet or propeller? Jet. Not. I don't know if it's as simple as that, actually. I'd say, broadly speaking, a jet, but there are probably some very efficient jets out there. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Isn't this beautiful? The landing lights are not on. I notice. I don't know when they come on. They do come on before landing, but it would be nice if they came on below 10,000 feet, I think. But then again, someone told me that that is just a flight sim thing, and that's not necessarily standard. Okay, let's get our speed coming back a little further. And we'll get our landing checklist back up. And we'll get our gear down. And we'll get our final stage of flaps down. And we'll start flying. We'll do some flying. So autopilot off. We can also turn the yaw damper off. And you can see that although we're at the right altitude, we do need to descend a fair way to get down to that runway. And we'll run through the landing checklist. So landing gears down, speed brakes retracted, flaps are landing, airspeed we're slowing to VREF, and the autopilot and yaw damper are disengaged. Landing checklist complete. Oh, do you think so, Dan? I hope so. But you know they've got their own code on top of the G3000. It's not just the stock working title. So I'm slightly concerned that they might have to start work on it again if there's a new version. I don't know. You probably have more information than I do. I think it's got a lot of potential. I just don't at the moment think it's quite worth £20 in its current state. So yes, I'll show everyone what happens if you try and turn off the flight directors. They just flash. They just flash. So there we are. We've got 1 white, 3 reds from the looks of things. We'll just keep going at this angle, get ourselves lined up, and hopefully have a beautiful buttery touchdown. Hopefully. Be interesting to see what the hotfix brings. And we'll get our speed brought right back to VREF now. Sorry, to V-approach. It is really, really lovely to hand fly though. To hand fly, it is nicer than the CJ4, I think. So yeah, as I said, bit of a crosswind from the left here. But not too much of one. Oopsie, a little bit floaty. There you are. Welcome to Santorini, everybody. So we've got our speed brake deployed. We're manual braking. There's no reverse update. Reverse update? I just read the word update. No reverse thrust or anything like that on this. And here we are. We'll exit here to the left. Thank you, Rodrigo. The update's coming tomorrow, is it? Right. Good. Right, we'll get our flaps up. We'll get our speed brake retracted. And thanks to the automatic lights, we don't have to do anything else. Thank you, Martin. I think they mentioned that they do need to work on it if there's a working title update, as there is some custom integration. Yes, it would make sense. And what we're going to do is we're going to taxi up here, enter the apron via the next on the right. And meanwhile, we'll have a look at our after landing checklist, I think. Thrust levers idle. Oh, this is landing. Yes, all done. Did all that. After landing, cabin signs are still on. Engine anti-ice we don't need, it's not been used. Speed brakes retracted, flaps are up. Trims we need to set back to the green band. Done. And as I said on my Discord announcement, there aren't really any stands here. I think the airport has actually been changed since this scenery came out and since I was there. But yeah, basically they just marshal planes onto random spots on the tarmac, really. Thank you, Jens. Philbert, when is your next stream? I don't have any more planned for this week. I'll probably do one at some point over the weekend. But as I said in Discord, I'm being a little bit free and easy this week. I'm not having a set schedule. I've got quite a lot on. Yeah, it'll probably on Twitch on Saturday. Probably. Yes, that's correct. It does put you sideways to the terminal. That is how they park them up, yeah. Nipping off past my bedtime. No worries, Alex. Thanks for coming, as always. And yes, see you soon, boss. Sleep well. And I think I'm just going to bring it forward and park it fairly near one of those sets of stairs that goes up to the terminal. Not that I imagine my passengers will be using those stairs. They'll probably have a blacked out limo coming to pick them up off the apron. I really do like this airport scenery. I really do. I'm not usually a huge fan of Just Sim stuff. They're not sort of top tier. But this just has so much atmosphere somehow. It feels like a proper Greek island airport. The other lights come off as you cruise to a stop. So there we are. Parking brake has been set. We don't have the option for wheel chocks, unfortunately. Engine anti-ice we haven't used at all. External power we cannot connect with the engines running. But we'll come back to that. Thrust levers will go to cut off now to kill the engines. And now we can have external power. Cabin signs we can do now. We'll open the door as well. Because I don't really remember where the lights are. Is it not utilities, is it? No. Where is it? It's definitely somewhere. Aircraft systems, I think. System controls, there we are. Interior lights. Fasten seatbelts off. They don't really need to have a cigarette again inside the aircraft, I think, so we'll leave no smoking on. Oxygen supply, pull off. I pushed it on, to be honest with you, so that's alright. Parking brake. We're not going to release it because we don't have any chocks. And we could turn the battery off if we wanted to. But we won't bother because... We'll let the passengers get off with some power still in the cabin, I think. So there we are. Welcome to Santorini. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah. So final thoughts on the plane before we go and before I catch up with the chat. I like it. I do like it. I think it's really, really nice to fly. But I don't think it's okay to release a plane that is this buggy and has no documentation for £20. I don't think that's okay. So I wish they'd just held off until they'd got these bugs fixed, until the manual was done so we could all learn to fly it properly, rather than pushing buttons and being driven mad by it. I think that was a mistake. But yes, I do like it. Someone asked me earlier, and in its present form I gave it 4 out of 10. I'd probably bump that up, having flown it again, to 5 out of 10. I think once the manual's out, even if the bugs are still there, it would probably be a 6 out of 10 for me. And with the bug fixes, when it works properly, who knows, could be a 9 or a 10. Certainly a lot of potential. And for now, it's still quite a lot of fun, to be honest with you. Good night, Rodrigo. The smell of the jetway is too reminiscent of a 5-figure salary. Limo. Yeah. Limo's okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'm also going to bed. Martin, good night, bus. Enjoy your stay in Santorini. Thank you very much. I shall. You forgot your taxi lights. This is the main thing I like about this plane, boss. It's impossible. It's impossible to forget your taxi lights. So yes, as I said, I'm not committing to when my next stream will be. But it's most likely going to be Saturday, probably in the morning. Not 100% sure yet. But do keep an eye on the Discord. I always announce my streams there, first of all, both on Twitch and on YouTube. Do come and follow me over on Twitch. if you haven't already. Again, one more plea, thumbs up before you go. Click the subscribe button, that really does help me a lot. Club Filbert members, I will see you in the voice chat for a little post-stream debrief in a couple of minutes' time. The rest of you, thanks very much for watching. Wojtek, thank you for flying along in spirit and on Volanta. And I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.